to be talking about selling visually with social, but my first comment I want to make sure we understand is social media was never built for sales. It was never built for leads or lead generation, just to be clear. But there are so many great visual things it can do that it should be part of your sales process. So we're going to share with you a bunch of different ideas, maybe some things you didn't get in the past. There are some things I even struggled with buying into, how I could use it for real estate. But then I kind of came around and found some good ways to use that. So hopefully you'll get some 2 or 3 really good ideas you can go implement right now. And at the same time, maybe you're doing some things where you can expand upon them in the next 6 months. So first things first, why do you think social media is so successful? I have 2 reasons, and of course there's no exact right reason. What's your thoughts? Why is it so successful? Fun. What else? It's immediate. What was that one? Connective. Interactive. And think about this. Go back 10, 15 years pre-social media. Where did we ever have the opportunity to be able to stay in touch with our friends, clients, and colleagues on a day-to-day basis without having snail mail or even a phone call? So it became a tool, but I hate to say social became, because people think it's a lead gen system and a lot of other stuff. Realistically, it's a great visual tool. So we're going to talk visually today. My 2 thoughts on why it's successful, based on emotion. It's truly based on your emotions. Think about this. Who's making some really cool posts on Facebook or social media right in the last 10 minutes? Okay, you. Now, what are you doing after that post 30 seconds later? You're watching to see if someone likes it or comments on it. Now, and what happens 30 seconds later if you don't see anything? How you feel? You're like, what the heck? Wait, is Facebook working? Do I have a signal? Then 30 seconds later, what are you doing? You're refreshing again. And then you're refreshing again. And if you get no engagement, how do you feel? And yet when you get tons of engagement, think about this when you're using it for personal reasons too. Sometimes some of you think at 5 minutes, if no one's engaged with you, Facebook's down, it's not working, something's wrong, right? How could nobody like that post? Oh my God. But also, because it's visual, we get to see a lot of things that's happening in our lives and we can share much easier versus words. So that being said, if we're going to connect visually, let me give you the first tip that I want to share with you. It's called Connect 6. How many of you are big Chrome fans? Okay, good. Not many people it used to be, but this made me love Chrome. This is a great extension of Chrome where Connect 6 gives you an amazing visual connection of all of the social connectivity of the person that you're either talking to in Gmail, in Twitter, and I'm going to show you how it works real quick. But basically, you could discover anybody, anywhere with all of their social stuff when you download the app, if you will, onto your browser, only in Chrome. It will put a little number 6. Little number 6 is going to be sitting next to the person's name. And when you hover over that 6, it pulls up their entire profile across the web of everything you could possibly find and need. That being said, if you want more detail, you could click on the profile and it takes you to a full page of that individual and all of the content and their history and anything they have out there. Now, what I also like about it too is when you're in Twitter. And when I'm on Twitter, I can hover over the 6. So if someone tweets me that maybe I don't know that well, I could hover over the 6. It gives me the data, gives me all of their social stuff visually. Visually is the most important because I want to see who they are, what they are. I want to know their story. My next favorite part is in Gmail. If you're a big Gmail fan, right in Gmail, anybody sends you an email, hover over the 6, pulls up their entire social platform, all built into one. So really slick, really cool, Connect 6 to connect visually on a social from email, from Twitter, from Facebook, from all of them. Easily downloadable. Go check that one out for sure. Next, we got photos. Beautiful photos. One of the biggest complaints we've always gotten and still get from consumers is what? Not enough or not good enough photos. And I'm not sure what's going on in our still real estate world, how hard it is to take really good photos. But do you still have bad photos in your market? Like, is it just ridiculous? Like, I don't understand how we could still take poor or not enough photos. So there's a lot of great ways to photos, but I'm going to share with you some ways to use photos that maybe we didn't think about. Because my mindset, just keep in mind, as I show you some of this stuff, comes from a listing mindset. I'm always about getting listings. I work with buyers too, but listings is the name of the game if you're going to survive in this business. So first things first, why visual? Some really good stats, first of all. 40% of people will respond better to visual than text. You know that because you're one of them that's going to do that. But check out the next one, Pinterest. Pinterest generated more referral traffic than Google+, YouTube, and LinkedIn combined. How many of you are big Pinterest fans? Okay, well, I'm going to show you some things that, honestly, full disclosure here, I didn't like Pinterest in the beginning. I didn't get it, or I didn't find the need. Don't get me wrong. I knew how to use it. I knew how to pin stuff. I couldn't find the real need to bring it to real estate to make it productive to help me win some listings. But I found some ways. Okay? Also, visual content simply drives engagement. And that's the name of the game, is engagement. We got to get people more connected to this stuff. So we're going to leverage photos by sharing some ideas on Pinterest. First off, with Pinterest, many of you know we have all these Pinboards. This is one of our, we've got everything. We've got recipes, we've got jewelry, we've got tech gadgets. You've got a Pinboard for everything, gluten-free stuff, and it's really just a great way to put stuff together. So we had to kind of reel it in a little bit and say, what do I want to give my customers? The people that are looking to purchase homes, the people that are looking to sell their homes, they're always getting the same old stuff sometimes. So we're going to sharpen that up. Why don't you put together Pinboards of interest that the consumers actually would want to see? So as an example, how many of you wouldn't mind taking a look at a Pinboard of just really cool kitchens? Like, I'm not even in the market to buy a house, but I would look at kitchens to compare what? My kitchen to theirs, some cool colors to compare to. Whether they're your kitchens or a compilation of kitchen ideas, it's a category that's often looked at, and it's good content because when you're working with a buyer that's interested in a really nice kitchen, this would be a great piece of content to share. This is from our friends, Live Love Closets. Woohoo! It's right here. Live Love Closets. Now, I know how it works in the men's category right here. I get none of that. She gets all of that. And I get some other room somewhere. But at the same time, visually engaging content that at least when I click this link and I send it off to somebody and share, it's something that they'd have a vested interest in looking at. Better than a newsletter or some other stuff about mortgage rates or something else. Places we love. Here's the other thing. We could show 20, 30 homes in 2 or 3 weekends. That being said, have they really seen all of the beautiful parts of your town and community? Have they really seen the school systems? Have they really seen the churches? Have they really seen the dog parks? Have they seen it all? Not a shot. How else can you share it with them? Because what do consumers want? They want community information. Put your community in a Pinboard. I would actually have different communities based on towns. I would have town Pinboards based on the towns they want to see. And you do that on your own as you're driving with your own photos. Cost you how much? 0. But one thing Pinterest does well is takes beautiful photos and puts it into really nice platforms that are easily shareable and easily marketable. Then we could break it down to niches. We could break it down to landscape curb appeal for your home. Throw together some really cool landscape ideas for maybe something after they've moved into the home. Ideas to sell your home. Different concepts. Ideas for the kitchen. Bathroom ideas, storage ideas, garage storage ideas, all of which I'm even interested in looking at, and I'm not even in the process of selling my home. So that's the way you leverage Pinterest visually to gain the consumer. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you a couple things on Instagram in a second, but I would actually be using some of my Pinboards of my clients, my listings, and everything else on my listing presentation when I'm talking to a customer. Would that make an impression on a customer that I'm compiling my listings and my solds on Pinboards to show them the marketing that I'm doing? Is that something different? Is that something your competition is probably not doing? Because on a listing presentation, remember, the number 1 or 2 things is not only like and trust, but they want to see that you're doing something different with their home marketability-wise. Okay, there's others. I just pulled out a whole bunch. There's places to live. There's all sorts of different Pinboards you should be able to pull together for different concepts. I did a search. Search restaurants in Bergen County, New Jersey. Pull together all the restaurants together in your market area. Want to go place to eat? Here they are. Pull together different ideas, dog parks, pull it together. So these are just Pinboards of dog parks in my market, restaurants in my market, and I could share them with my customers that are looking in those areas. Okay, simple idea. Cost you no money. Some people that are really killing it, just a couple, probably a lot of you guys are killing it. Our friends at the boutique group, definitely doing a really good job. If you want to take a look at people killing it on Pinterest with visuals, boutique group, does a really good job. I don't know if they're in the room, but kudos to you guys. Also, BH&G, they do an awesome job too. There's a lot of brands stepping up to pin their stuff. And I'm sure maybe your brand's doing it, other people are doing it. But if you want to look at some good examples, there's a few to go check out. All right, let's shift gears on Instagram. Many of you have been Instagramming for a while. I just have to ask the question when it comes to hashtags, no matter what audience I get to. And be honest, because I don't want to throw you under the bus. Anybody still not understand or need a better definition of what a hashtag is? Cool. All right, good. Honestly, I like it. All right, so real simple, 2 sentences. A hashtag, the pound sign. Anytime you put the hashtag in front of a word or a string of words, makes it searchable. Okay, so hashtag real estate, all one word. If I was in Instagram searching real estate, that would get found. The post would get found. Does that make sense? So keep in mind, there's 2 types of hashtags. There's one for really good keywords, like, hashtag ICNY for here. Because if you go to and put in ICNY, you're going to see everything posted that's relevant to this. And then there's also the cool kids talk, right? Hashtag I love my kids. Hashtag this was awesome. And it's kind of just a cool way of cool talk, I guess. But you'll be surprised. Like, we used to joke around saying hashtag I love my kids when we're posting stuff about our children. And if you go search how many people hashtag I love my kids, thousands of people tagging that kind of stuff. So it's relevance of tagging and search. Did that clarify? Anybody who has a hashtag question? The same hashtag concept works across social. So if you're in Pinterest, if you're in Instagram, yes. Twitter, yes. Facebook, yes. The hashtag is the symbolic sign to make keyword search searchable. Okay? That being said, I want to give you some ideas on Instagram. First of all, some quick stats. Gotta love that selfie, by the way. There's 55 million average photos daily, but check this out. 35 million selfies posted daily. What do you think one of the most unique, largest number of age group and gender are taking selfies now? What age group, gender, is the most unique group that's doing most of it right now? 45 to 55 females. Exactly. Look, we know the 21 to 24 years old, but one of the most unique categories that's staggering right now is that category of females, correct? 35 to 45-year-old females. Not my stat, not me taking selfies. But at the same time, it's a platform that's delivering a lot of users. It's a platform that's very visual. So let me give you a couple ideas because I think you'll really like a few that I got to share here. 2 people or several people killing it on Instagram if you want to take a look at some really good presence. Eat at Union, non-real estate. I've been following them forever. They put out the most beautiful photos. I'm telling you, when I'm in Chicago, I think they're in Chicago, I will go eat there because of their presence of what they deliver visually. When you go check them out every day and I see their posts, they do an amazing marketing job of simply the beautiful food they put out. So one company outside the space. Inside the space, there's a lot of us doing a really good job, but I can only pick a few. Jennifer, in-town expert, also doing a really good job showing the types of homes that she's sharing, the type of culture of homes, the style, locations of homes. Ann Jones, up in Tacoma, doing a real good job getting the feel of warmth for her area, for her community. So really we're using visual as a selling point to show marketing. When consumers see this, it might be better than your website that doesn't show anything visually other than a bunch of MLS numbers. So we intend to use this as a marketing platform. So what can we do differently with Instagram that's going to make us pretty cool? Create your own unique hashtags. So now that we learned what hashtags are, here's an idea. If I said to you, I'm out with you as a customer, I'm your customer, and I said, hey, if you don't mind, how many listings do you guys have about? And you say, oh, I got 20 or 30 listings, right? Could I take a quick peek at all of them? Could you show them to me real quick? Just curious to see what kind of homes they are. What would you do on the fly? How would you show them to me in about 10 seconds or 15 seconds? What method would you use? What'd you say? An MLS? Is that sexy? Okay, what else? You're kind of thinking like, you got to be, I'm just curious. Now, don't you think it would be important and kind of cool to be able to pull up all your listings visually on the fly? So how about this? Create your own unique hashtag that most likely not everyone will use. So for example, these are not my real hashtags, but just examples. If we could put them up on the screen so they could see them real quick. I created hashtags. One is, for example, Jeff Lobb's listings. Jeff Lobb's listings. Who else is going to use that hashtag, right? Unless there's another Jeff Lobb in real estate somewhere. Make it very unique for a specific reason. And what if I took every one of my listings, and after making a post on Instagram, 4-bed, 3-bath, beautiful colonial, backs to parkland, hashtag, Atlanta, hashtag Jeff Lobb's listings. And I hashtagged every listing I have with Jeff Lobb's listings. Follow that for a second? And I've got 30 listings done. Now I have iPad in hand, customer asking me that question again. Hey, I would love to see all your listings just to get an idea of what kind of marketing. Also, on a listing presentation, I'd love to see the other kind of homes you market. How do I show them all 30 listings right now? Instagram, search, Jeff Lobb's listings, full beautiful HD iPad full of all the photos of my homes. Would that be a nicer way to display them? In description, in full color. Could I do that with my solds? You want to see some of the homes I sold in 2014? Hashtag Jeff Lobb's sold homes. So I'm hashtagging it to make it searchable so I can pull it up on the fly, on demand. And I would be sure I would have that on every one of my listing presentations to show somebody how quickly and the kind of homes I'm marketing and how I market and the visual platforms I use. Because I know my competition would never do it. Last, you could do Jeff Lobb loves his town. They're down here on my screen. They're not up on yours. But Jeff Lobb loves his town is another one. It could be anything. Who else is going to use that one? All of the photos for the community events that I participate in. Everything that has to do with my town, community, school systems, everything, I hashtag with a separate one. So when they want to see community information, pull up my hashtag. Here it is. Okay, so everybody like that idea? I'm pulling this up on the fly. I think it's pretty slick, right? Especially if an iPad or a tablet, real easy to do. Next, challenge as of now on Instagram, you can't really do a search on a desktop. Now I'm mobile most of the time, but there's times you might want to see a desktop view of that. So Enjoygram is basically an Instagram web viewer. And just to give you an example of a branded hashtag, because the other idea I want to close with on Instagram is you yourself, your team, your own real estate business should have its own hashtag that you're hashtagging for filtering, for search. Just like a domain name gets branded, I think you should have a hashtag that gets branded. So for example, in my little personal world, because in social media, I'm really big on making sure I show I'm human. I'm not just this guy on stage. I'm a dad. I got 6 kids. I coach football. I love the outdoors. I want you to see that side of me because like and trust comes from that, doesn't it? So jokingly, all the personal stuff I've done in my life with children and kids and football and sports and anything we do beyond work, I hashtag with the hashtag LobbLife. So LobbLife started to take and get sticky and started to take its own brand, didn't it? Some people are laughing. It kind of got crazy. Everyone wants to see what LobbLife is posting. It's really just about my crazy kids and my life and stuff going on at home. But you could literally go into Instagram and search LobbLife, and if you want to see it on full screen, do it in Enjoygram. It's a full desktop version of it. And you could pretty much see anything that I've done in the last 2 or 3 years. And you might say, why do I need to do that? People who do business with me want to know that I'm human and trustable, and that's the kind of person I am. That's where sales happen, right? So you can use that to brand it, but create your own hashtag brand. People often ask, Jeff, what kind of apps do you use to take some really good photos? Tons of photo apps, Camera Plus, camera apps on any device. I just have a favorite I like. My wife's really good at iPhoneography with her iPhone, so people ask her often as well. Pro HDR is one of my favorites. It is both Android and iPhone available, and I'll tell you the reason I like it. It's not good for taking anything motion. It's really good for still. But last time I checked, most of the homes I take pictures of don't move, unless it's after happy hour. So what you do is it takes 2 pictures, right? And you have to hold still. It takes one with low light and one with the higher res light. And it takes those 2 and blends lighting together, and it's editable right on the screen itself. So I never have to leave the app. So it's a really nice blend of light. And I'll share with you some photos that may or may not do it justice through a projector, but these are some photos that were taken that almost look like they were paintings. Okay, that's a subdivision up in our market area. That's a golf course community, simply edited on the iPhone with Pro HDR. The one on the right can't justify the light so much, but it's really a beautiful bridge setting. I think I have two others here. Sunsets over the fields, left and right. It takes gorgeous, gorgeous photos, all from that magical device we stick in our pocket every day, right? So that's just one of the things that people ask is, what do we use? There's a tip for you there. Give it a shot. Might cost you $1 or $2. Works. Okay, now last, visually with social media. I think the other social challenge we have besides selling visually is handing off our information visually. How do I give you my stuff visually? So we all have business cards, right? Today you're going to be handing out hundreds of them, thousands of them to some of us. But when I ask this question, I'm still confused by the answer, but I think it's reality. When I have a business card, and I simply say, and I gave you my card, and this isn't my card, just someone else's card. When I give you my card, if I asked you this, in 5 or 6 weeks after I gave you my business card, where is it? Who said trash? Quite often, number one answer. Where else? Where else is it? Stacked on a desk, rubber banded, someplace I'll never find it again. And then maybe 2% of us have the discipline to scan it, picture it, photo it, and do something with it. Very few of us. But even when I do scan it, photo it, run it through my neat receipt thing, take a picture on my app, cam card it, whatever I want to do, is it all linkable to anything that I have on this card? See, our lives have changed a lot. I'm not saying paper is going away by any means, but this doesn't tell my story. This is simply a connectivity piece. So if you look at the gentleman on the screen, can you guys put up the screen of my slide deck? If that's possible. Yeah, thank you. Let's leave that up for a little bit. I'll need these. I had to do a lot of whiting out for this human. Hopefully he's not in the audience. So if you notice, look at all the social icons. See all the social media icons there? Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. What does that mean? What do you do with that? If this was his card, what do you touch them? You can't do anything with them. They link you nowhere. They tell you nothing. He's telling me he's on Twitter, he's on Facebook, he's on LinkedIn. So what? Also, we've got Gmails, and you probably have seen email signatures that have all this, follow me on Twitter link, Facebook links, this link, that link, so you can connect me to all that other stuff. But if I asked you this, how many ways do customers have to communicate with you right now? How many ways? Take a look here. I'll help you. Let's look at some of these. How many of these do you have? Count slow. Even as simple as a home fax, an e-fax, an office address, a corporate website, a lead gen website. I have a YouTube channel. I've got a Pinterest account. I've got a Facebook page. I've got a business page. I've got a cell phone number. I have an address. I have an email address. I've got a blog. Right? How many have at least 8 or 9 of these? So if I wanted to get a hold of you, how do you put that here on my business card? Or do I have to just find a website to take you there? So I had this challenge because I don't think the business card's going away, but unfortunately, with a digital world, this doesn't take me to your digital space. So that being said, when I started in real estate back in 1988, to be exact, this was what my card really could have looked like. It was office fax, home phone, home fax, because you were a cool kid when you had a home fax back then. It did, scrolly paper, and that stuff just kind of faded away after a year and disappearing ink. And then, of course, you were definitely cool if you had a pager. I won't say what people thought of you when you had a pager, but you were either a doctor or something else, to be politically correct. Imagine if we had pagers now. I'd lose my mind. That thing beeping so I can go call somebody. Today, if I had to give you all the links to connect with me right now, it's that. Those are all my links. My Twitter link, my Google Plus link, my blog, my website, my corporate website, my lead gen website, my phone number, my office phone number. I can't do that anymore, right? So got to find a better solution, especially when we're doing visually with social media. Check out Story App, storyapp.me. Very similar to the About Me premise, except more evolved into the business platform. It combines your personal, your social, your mobile, all your content, easily shareable, unlimited everything, unlimited videos, all the stuff you want on there, but it really tells the story based on how you want it to with all live links. And it's an easy way for me to deliver my card to you versus just this card. So in a nutshell, it will create a full-page, beautiful website for you to have, So you'll have that design. You don't have to be a designer to figure it out. It will also give you a mobile solution so that it can download the data and the V card. Because guess what? You told me you're going to throw this out on me. Where do I really want to be? Where do I want my information to be? On your phone. I want to be in your purse, in your pocketbook, in your pants pocket, wherever you put this thing, because do we ever let this thing go? We have anxiety attacks when we let this thing go. Some of us, when we hit 30% battery, we have anxiety attacks. Some of you probably are almost there now. But I want my data here. So I want to be able to deliver it to you here. So with this type of product, and I'm going to show you how I do it from a sales perspective. Some other things that are put into this, though, is that when I do meet a customer, I can have a form that says, hey, sign up for my newsletter. Sign up for my, download my PDF file, because what's that doing? It's also capturing my customers, too. So I'm able to provide data and capture at the same time. And then it'll give you a nice branded social media platform where I could have my videos, my YouTube channel. I could have a tab that says search for homes. I could do anything I want with it and shape it how I wish. But if you also look at the very bottom, it's a quick phone call, text, and email button one-on-one. Okay? And lastly, if you know how to make it an icon on your screen, it's very easy to do as an icon on your screen, so it actually looks like an app, feels like an app. Now, here's the way I want to transfer information. If I could have just a volunteer that's willing to give me their phone number that I promise not to harass later today. We got one right there. So if I were talking to you, I can't do it live because I'm off site, but I'll role play through it. My digital business card, by the way, it'll be on the next screen, is simply jefflobb.me. So if you and I were having a conversation, and you said to me, hey, do you have a business card? I sure do. As a matter of fact, I'll give you my regular card. But if you don't mind, would you mind if I sent you my digital business card? Now, would most people, I've not had one person go no, unless they didn't have a phone on them. So I'll say, let me send you the digital card. And what I would do is open up my text, which we all do, and I would type in there, let me have your phone number, please. Your cell phone number. Oh, she's not giving it out. Look at her. Oh, all right. Don't worry, I'll post it on Twitter in 10 minutes. So I'm typing her phone number in, right? And all I do is go down to my text box and type in www.jefflobb.me. Send. Now, what do you get? You get a full, beautiful, mobilized website that's optimized for your device. When it's there, it's in your phone. You can also download vCard. Boom, it's now downloaded into your contacts. Already there with all my social connections, all my links, all my videos, and everything I want, and no disrespect to my regular business card. I can't do that on my regular business card. So we're taking visual now, putting it into digital, and putting it into your phone. So just check out storyapp.me as another solution to take visual and social and put it together. My last slide, if we could put it up on the screen. jefflobb.me is a way to get a hold of me. Hopefully you got some really good ideas today on how to take visual content, turn it into your listing presentation, marketing presentation, and leveraging better content that's curated with these platforms. Okay, reach out to me. Thanks, guys, for your time. See you later this afternoon. Thank you.